Have you ever looked at someone you love, a partner, a friend, a family member, and felt a million miles away, even when they were sitting right next to you? We live in the most connected time in human history, with endless ways to reach out and touch someone's life through a screen. Yet so many of us feel a profound sense of disconnection. We wonder why arguments spiral out of control over something small, or why we feel misunderstood by the very people who are supposed to know us best. The truth is, they are more than possible. They are within our reach. We spend years in school learning mathematics, history, and science. But where were the classes on how to listen with empathy? It's like being asked to build a house with no blueprint and no tools. That skill is emotional intelligence. It's the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions. And just as importantly, to recognize, understand, and influence the emotions of others. It is the bridge that closes that million-mile gap. Every single one of us walks through the world with a set of core emotional needs. We have a need to feel seen, heard, valued, and secure. But when they are not met, we feel anxious, resentful, and lonely. Think about my friend Maya. She was constantly getting into arguments with her partner Liam about him going out with his friends. But when Maya took a moment to look deeper, past the anger, she realized what was truly going on. She worked from home and often felt isolated, so his nights out amplified her feelings of loneliness. Instead of starting a fight when Liam mentioned plans, she was able to communicate her real feelings. Liam's response was immediate and filled with understanding. He had no idea she felt that way. Your practical step for today is to become an emotional detective. The next time you feel a strong negative emotion, anger, jealousy, frustration, pause. Don't just react. Take out a journal and write it down. Identify the core need that isn't being met. We often think of communication as being about talking, finding the right words, making our point, and being understood. But the most powerful and transformative part of communication has nothing to do with our mouths. It's all about our ears. We engage in what I call reply listening. This is when we're not actually hearing what the other person is saying. We're just waiting for our turn to speak. I remember coaching a young man named Ben, who was having trouble with his father. He felt his dad was always criticizing his career choices and never supported him. Every conversation they had would end in a shouting match. Ben was so focused on defending his choices that he never truly heard the emotion behind his father's words. During their next call, his dad started in on the same topic, talking about financial stability and the risks of Ben's chosen path. But this time, instead of interrupting, Ben listened, and he heard something new. He heard fear. After his dad finished, Ben said, "Dad, it sounds like you're really worried about me. You're scared I won't be okay." Your practical step is to practice reflective listening. The next time someone is sharing something important with you, your goal is to summarize their feeling back to them. This shows you're not just waiting to reply. You are truly trying to understand. Trust is the single most important ingredient in any healthy relationship. It is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Love, intimacy, security, and connection. Without trust, even the most passionate love will crumble under the weight of suspicion and doubt. But here's the thing about trust that most people get wrong. We often think of it as something that is broken by big, dramatic betrayals. And while that's true, the reality is that trust is most often eroded slowly through a series of small, seemingly insignificant moments. Consider the story of Sarah and Tom. They had been together for 2 years, and Sarah found herself feeling a constant, low-level anxiety about the relationship. He'd say he would call her after his gym session but would forget. He'd say he was 5 minutes away when he hadn't even left his office yet. None of these were deal breakers on their own, but together they sent a consistent message. You are not a priority. My word doesn't have to be my bond with you. Building trust isn't about grand gestures. It's about remembering to make that phone call when you said you would. It's about showing up on time. It's about doing the dishes because you said you would without having to be reminded. It's about choosing to be honest, even when a small lie would be easier. Your practical step for building trust is simple but powerful. Practice the rule of do what you say you will do. Dwysud. For the next week, make a conscious effort to be impeccable with your word in one specific relationship. You will be amazed at how quickly these small, consistent acts of reliability can repair cracks in the foundation and build a profound sense of safety and security for the other person. In our society, we are often taught that vulnerability is a weakness. We are told to be strong, to keep our feelings to ourselves, and to never let anyone see us sweat. But this is one of the greatest paradoxes of human connection. The very walls we build to protect ourselves are the same walls that keep love and intimacy out. True connection cannot happen through a wall. It can only happen when we have the courage to be vulnerable. I once spoke with a woman named Chloe who had been on a series of disappointing dates. She was smart, funny, and successful, but she couldn't seem to form a lasting connection. On her next date, she made a promise to herself to share one small, genuine vulnerability. Instead of giving her usual polished answer, she took a breath and said, "My relationship with my sister is a little strained, and it's something that makes me sad sometimes." No matter how much you love someone or how perfect your relationship seems, conflict is inevitable. The goal of a healthy disagreement is not to win, but to understand. It's an opportunity not for division, but for deeper connection. Think of my friends, David and Emily. They used to have explosive fights about money. I suggested they reframe their approach. Instead of you versus me, they needed to adopt a you and me versus the problem mindset. They sat down, not when they were angry, but during a calm moment. They agreed that they were on the same team, with the same goal, to build a happy life together. This shift in perspective allowed them to create a budget that honored both of their needs, a dedicated savings plan that made David feel secure, and a fun fund that allowed Emily to enjoy life without guilt. Your practical step is to use this team framework in your next disagreement. When a conflict arises, literally say the words out loud. "Okay, remember, it's you and me against this problem. We're on the same team. How can we solve this together?" We have journeyed through the landscape of our own hearts today, exploring the hidden needs that drive us, the communication traps that ensnare us, and the powerful, simple actions that can build foundations of trust and vulnerability. We've seen that stronger relationships are not a matter of luck or chance. They are the result of conscious choice, intentional effort, and the willingness to learn and practice the skills of emotional intelligence. True, lasting change doesn't happen in giant, sweeping gestures. It happens in the small moments. Every interaction is an opportunity to practice. The power to change the quality of your relationships does not lie with anyone else. It lies with you. You can choose empathy over judgment. You can choose curiosity over defensiveness. You can choose connection over being right. By changing your own approach, you change the entire dynamic of the relationship. You create a space where the other person feels safe enough to change too. So my invitation to you today is this. Don't just let these words be something you read. Let them be something you do. Reflect on the relationships in your own life right now. Where do you feel a sense of disconnection? Where is there a recurring conflict or a feeling of being misunderstood? Choose one thing, just one small, practical step from our conversation today. Make one small change today. It may feel like a single step, but it is the beginning of a beautiful new journey. If this resonated with you, subscribe for more insights on building meaningful connections. And remember, your relationships are worth the investment.